Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. What a busy week that we have ahead. Let's be very honest, we have a very busy week. We've got a friendly game against Al-Shabaab in Saudi Arabia on Wednesday. And then obviously we've got De Rossi's second Serie A game, which will be played on Monday against Salernitana. It's a busy week. A lot of this week. The theme of this week is Saudi Arabia, without a doubt. Let's give a desert theme to this week. And we're going to speak about this today. We're going to speak about, first of all, the utility of this friendly game, because it's more than just a friendly game. Let's be honest. I don't get fooled this easy. This is more than a friendly game. There's a level of business behind this friendly game. There's a potential this morning on the newspapers. There were rumors that Saudi are interested in us. They're interested in buying us from the Fredkins, and that the Fredkins are asking $1 billion, euros, to sell us. So yeah, this potential Saudi bid coming or not. This friendly game against Al-Shabaab, which is a bit of a risk because it's not it's not a period of the year where you would like to play a friendly game. But as I said before, there's something behind this friendly game. You look at the contract that Roma signed with Al-Shabaab about this friendly game. Yeah, it's more than just a simple friendly game. And we'll speak about this today. We've got also some transfer news. I do want to focus on transfer news tomorrow. But we do have some breaking transfer news coming from Gianluca Di Marzio. Apparently, Roma and Fiorentina are working together to unlock a potential loan swap deal between Belotti and Icone, which would see Belotti go to Fiorentina and Icone go to Roma on loan. So at the end of the season, they would go back to their own respective clubs. But it's something which I would focus on that tomorrow. I do want to focus on speaking about a lot of the behind the scenes today. I think it's a good way to start the week. Monday evening, let's have a good chat. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat. I do want to speak about, again, we're 1 week ahead of Jose's sacking. Behind the scenes, what do we expect? And Saudi is a big theme behind the scenes. By the way, I was about to forget this. Rest in peace to Gigi Riva, Italian legend, one of the best Italian players out there. He passed away a few hours ago, so rest in peace to him, and condolences to his family and everyone. So yeah, make sure to spam rest in peace Gigi Riva in the chat. But yeah, look, I want to speak about this friendly game, because I obviously won't go live for a match preview. I might go live for a live watch along on Wednesday, but I'm not sure I will give a dedicated match preview regarding this friendly game. It's an interesting friendly game, first of all, because it's on a Wednesday in a period of the year where we've got a lot of games. As I said at the start, it's not the moment of the year to speak about and play friendly games. This would have been a great week to rest, have a full week to rest. And now we got to go to Saudi Arabia. Tomorrow we're flying to Saudi Arabia. Then we have to play the friendly game. We have to come back. It is going to be a bit of a chaotic move, going there, coming back. It is going to distress a lot of our attention away from a very important game against Salernitana next Monday. I think this is a good opportunity for De Rossi to further implement his tactics into our formation. This, at the end of the day, is a friendly game where he can experiment. This is a friendly game where he can try his new stuff. He can try his new formations, try 4 defenders at the back, try 3 defenders at the back, rotate a lot. And look, I'm glad we are getting a test, and I'm glad that De Rossi is having a test against the Saudi team, yes. But, Al-Shabaab have got interesting players, just like the majority of Saudi teams. They've got Carrasco, ex-Atletico Madrid player. They've got Banega, ex-Seville and Inter Milan player. And also, apparently today, they're about to end and close the Almiron deal from Newcastle. Also, there were rumors of Mourinho being the Al Shabab manager. It's not going to happen, as reported by Fabrizio Romano. Jose doesn't want to go to Saudi, but it would have been crazy. Like, imagine Mourinho getting sacked on Tuesday and next Wednesday playing a friendly game against Roma. It would have been literally like, we would have cracked the algorithm if it would have happened. Luckily, it's not going to happen. I'm not ready to face Mourinho as an opponent at time of speaking. I'd rather wait a bit. Even if it's a friendly game, it's just very weird to potentially have seen Mourinho against us. But yeah, that's not going to happen, so no need to speak about that. There's a very important clause in this friendly game. Apparently, Angelo Mangiante has reported that Roma and Al Shabab have signed this contract where Roma have to start their starting players in this friendly game. Again, it's about the money. It's all about the money these days. Apparently, our biggest players need to start this game because Al Shabab and all of that will have signed a contract saying that Dybala, Lukaku, Pellegrini, and the big names have to start this friendly game. Again, let's be real. If I am Daniele De Rossi today, or if I'm Paulo Dybala today, or even if I'm Dan Fredkin today, I would fake Dybala injured. You know, the Saudis will never know. The Saudis will never know if we are telling the truth or not. We need to avoid this. We need to try and break the rules here and not start our biggest players, because it's a way to distract ourselves and risk getting new injuries. If I'm De Rossi today, if I'm Dybala today, I'm going to fake an injury, let the world and let the Saudi Arabia know that Dybala's injured, there's nothing I can do about it. He wanted to be available, but unfortunately he's injured. Fake an injury so that you're not playing this game. We don't need Dybala to play this game. I know it's because of business. I know, I'm not dumb. But really, like, Dybala is at that stage of this season where he can't play more than 30 minutes and he gets injured. He's not fit, and we could have seen that against Verona on Saturday. He clearly wasn't fit. He clearly wasn't happy on Saturday. And when Dybala's not fit, his performances are terrible. We need to preserve Dybala. I'd rather preserve Lukaku as well. You never know. But yeah, a lot of big names do have to start this game because of the business and all of that. Again, another big thing about this friendly game is the Saudis are gonna be mad that Mourinho's not is not their manager anymore. You know, a big reason of why we have a Saudi sponsor on our kit. A big reason why we planned this friendly game in the very beginning was because of Mourinho. You know, Mourinho himself has said over his longevity as a Roma manager that he's very, in the near future, he will manage in Saudi Arabia. So this was a way to kind of break the waters and let Mourinho try a Saudi experience. Mourinho getting sacked is something that Al Shabab and the entire Saudi Arabia Football Association would have detested. It's something that they definitely wouldn't have agreed with, but it's a friendly game, and the Fredkins can't base their own philosophy of football on one single friendly game. So yeah, they're gonna be pissed without a doubt. It's to do with their sponsor. You know, this friendly game has to do with their sponsor. It's yeah, again, that's the friendly game. But what I'm trying to sense here is it's more than just a friendly game. It's not a coincidence, in my opinion, that the day before we fly to Saudi Arabia, on the newspapers this morning, there are rumors of Saudi investors linked with a potential Roma purchase. It's not a coincidence. This is a friendly game that has a lot of business to do. The Fredkins are going to fly to Riyadh, and it means that they are going to have communications. They're going to talk. They're going to see if anybody down there is interested in purchasing Roma. There has been rumors, as I said this morning, that the same owner, the same branch of the owners of Newcastle, so the Al Ramayan, I believe it is. It's the Al Ramayan family. Let me quickly check. I think it is. It's the Where is it? Yeah, Al Rumayyan. It's the same branch as Newcastle. It's the same family. There have been rumors that they want us, they want to buy us because they see a lot of interest in expanding their brands in probably one of the most famous capital cities in the world, the Eternal City. It's linked with the sponsor we have in our kit. There definitely has been an introduction of Roma to the Saudi world. This isn't a surprise to us fans. Now the question is, will the Fredkins sell, and will Saudi Arabia maybe potentially be interested in buying us? Or will the Fredkins keep us, but maybe get some Saudi investors to be part of some movements of us and buy a little portion of the club, but with the Fredkins remaining in power? I don't know. I'm not the Fredkins. All I can say from these past 2-3 years under the Fredkins is that the Fredkins are here for business. You know, the Fredkins aren't here because they're Roma fans. The Fredkins aren't here because ultimately they want to lift the most trophies possible. The real reason of why the Fredkins are here and bought us in the first place is because of business. It's because at the end of the day, they'll get money from this whenever they sell it. Their project has always been clear. Buy this team, get this team out of debt, and they're working really well towards that. You know, they've invested a lot of their own money from their pocket to lift all of the debts that we have. In fact, the Fredkins have half their debts in these past 2 seasons. Their project has always been very, very simple. Buy this team, covered of debts after coronavirus, after lockdown, when this team was in an absolute mess of finances. Get money from her pocket, invest it in the team, pull it out of the debts, increase its merchandise, get Mourinho as a manager, get names like Dybala and Lukaku, win a first European trophy, make the name Roma and the brand Roma more popular. And at the end of the day, their ultimate goal was and is still to create that stadium. Because once that stadium gets accepted, or the project gets accepted, the value of Roma increases, and then they'll sell Roma and make a profit, and that's ultimately what businessmen do. So their goal is make more money than what they bought for. And with all of these increasing the merchandising, increasing the Roma name, getting approvals of this stadium being built in the near future, the value of Roma increases. It does. It's how the world works. So if they get the confirmation that the stadium will be built, maybe in the long term they'll sell because they'll make more money from it. Again, if they get the confirmation that the stadium won't be built, then they'll sell immediately, because 90% of why they're here is to build that stadium, to pump up the value of us. So if the project of the new stadium gets completely and utterly disgusted by the Italian government, then they are going to sell because their objective collapsed. So yeah, apparently they're asking for 1 billion to sell Roma. I'm not saying they're going to sell. This is just rumors, but it isn't a coincidence that Saudi rumors of a Saudi takeover are coming the day before the team leaves for Saudi and 2 days before we play a Saudi team in a friendly game. It's not a coincidence. Everything is linked. Let's be real. This friendly game is because of business. This friendly game is because I want to bring Roma into the Saudi world to see and listen to offers if they are coming from the Saudi sheikhs and the businessmen there. And that's it. That's the purpose of this friendly game. I wouldn't be surprised if none of the players actually want to go to Saudi and play this friendly game. De Rossi wouldn't even care in the slightest to go to Saudi and play this friendly game. The people who care the most about this are owners, or CEO, and all of these. The players, they won't care. The manager won't care. The players and the manager would have rather stayed in Rome and prepare for the Salernitana game, which is one hell of a delicate game, because Salernitana desperately need to win. It's that stage of the season where these relegation teams just turn up in these games, and lately they've had Candreva playing like an absolute beast. So that's it. I mean, there's always a big controversy around Saudi takeovers, especially if you're a club who is built and has lived on passion. we aren't a club that has been living off trophies. We aren't a club who's been living off glory. We're a club who's been living off passion and the love of the fan base. That's why we're relevant to this world. We're relevant because of Totti's loyalty. We're relevant because if you ask any fan, what's the first thing you think about when you think about Roma? He will probably say fans, and that's who we are. So for a passionate, for a club who's been built on passion, it's always controversial to say, I want a Saudi takeover, because a Saudi takeover kind of, again, it brings oil money in. It's a way to decrease and make the club more prone to, big offers, big business, big oil money, a lot of money, circulation of money. I think as a fan who is a Roma fan, who's a Roman, I can say that I'm neither pro and I'm neither con. I see advantages. I see disadvantages here, but the disadvantages here are the ones that would kind of destroy my legacy, the legacy of the fan base. There are a lot of advantages. In 2024, if you want to succeed in football, you need money. In 2024, if you want to have a slight chance of lifting a trophy, you need money. In 2024 nowadays, if you want glory, if you want victory, you need money. This game isn't a sport anymore. This game is business. This game is built upon cash and coins and money and all of that. So it would be also a lie for me to say that a Saudi takeover wouldn't bring a lot of advantages. It would massively, massively, massively. First of all, it would decrease the FFP. Let's be real here. Look at this. It isn't a pattern around the world that not Saudi teams, but teams who've got Saudi owners don't get bothered with FFP. Look at Man City, look at PSG, look at Newcastle. Yes, they've got FFP, but not even to the minimum level what we're having right now, because of the amount of money that they bring into the system and how corrupt UEFA is. They'll let them off. So having Saudi owners means spending more money and being free and able to spend more money. Something which for the past 3 years for a Roma fan has been a miracle, a mirage. You wouldn't even call it a miracle, because we've spent what? How much money have we spent lately in these past seasons because of FFP? So yeah. Another thing is the other pattern here is that whichever team has been taken over by Saudis is a very relevant team nowadays. Look at PSG. PSG was nobody 20 years ago, and then look at them now. Everybody, even though they don't win titles, everybody considers them top 5 teams in the world because of the players, because of the money, but most importantly because of the power. Look at Man City's evolution. Look at Newcastle. I mean, I started this YouTube channel with Newcastle being scared to get relegated and fighting to not get relegated. And 2 years after, Newcastle this season played in the Champions League. Yes, this season they're having a wobbly season, but look at the players Newcastle have. Saudi takeovers mean power. It means money, of course, but it means power. And yes, my team is a team which has been built on passion. And I don't want this to break down, because this is who I am. This is who me, you, and the entire Roma family and Roma fan base is. We live on respect of players. We don't live off trophies. We live off the players respecting this badge and us being present every time at the stadium showing your love. But at the end of the day, we're football fans. We want our team to succeed. We want our team to lift trophies. For us, lifting that Conference League was something that was just immaculate. It was some of the best days of my life, and that was just a Conference League. So as a fan, you want to keep all of the tradition, but you want to win trophies. And at time of speaking, I just can't see my team winning a league title in the next 5 years. I just can't see it happen, because teams in my league, just like any other league in the world, there are teams in my league which are way more organized, which are way richer, which have way more power, and which qualify in the Champions League year in and year out. And the way that they're buying players, the way that they're scouting players, this gap that they're building is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I can't compete, me, Roma, I can't compete with what Inter does right now, or what Milan does, or what Juventus does. So for a Roma fan to say, when do you think we're going to lift the league title? I can't say earlier than 5 years, because it would be unrealistic. We have got a lot of problems, financial-wise. We've got a lot of players player-wise. We've got a lot of players structure-wise. We have an ownership which doesn't speak, which is never present, which doesn't make itself loud. Yes, they're helping a lot, in recovering the debts, but look at FFP. FFP isn't enabling us to spend money. Look at the team. Our team is based on 80% loan players and 80% injury-prone players. I can't see Roma lifting a major trophy in the next 5 years. I just can't see it happen. We're far from it. We're far from being perfect, and we're far from being at the same level as Inter, as the same level as Milan, same level as Juventus. We're in that cycle with Napoli, Lazio, Fiorentina recently have grown a lot, but we never make that step. That step was there 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. And the only reason why we didn't win league titles 7 years ago was because Juventus had a team of aliens. If Juventus was this season's Juventus, all of those years where Roma qualified second, we would have won league titles. But right now it's different. Right now we've got an ownership which football-wise doesn't know what to do. They're great at business stuff, but football-wise, they're not good. They don't know what they're doing. We need an identity. And that's the first step of even thinking about lifting a major trophy. Because as I said, it just doesn't make... You just can't link Roma and this current Roma squad to major trophies. Yes, okay, in the next 2 years we might win another Conference League, or we might win a Coppa Italia, but league titles... I'm not going to say Champions League, but having a good Champions League run, which doesn't necessarily mean win it, but reach the semi-finals of a Champions League, like we did a few years ago, or lifting a Europa League, I consider a major trophy. We were very close last season, but it's something that was lucky, and we can't say that last season's run in the Europa League wasn't lucky. For a team to do it year in and year out, Roma isn't that type of team right now, and Saudis coming in would help. Wouldn't sort out every problem, but it would help a lot. So we'll see what happens on Wednesday. If you're interested, I'm gonna go live for a live watch along to see Roma play against Al Shabab. But as we discussed in this video, it's a business friendly game. It's not a normal friendly game. There's something behind it that would definitely be discussed about. Simon, I think this sack was tactical. They wanted Mourinho to play all these hard games, and now we have an easier calendar. They signed DDR, so when we win these games, it looks like Mu was the problem, says La Jolla. Yeah, right. People are you against Saudi takeover, or you want it to happen? I'm mixed, but ultimately I have to go with I want it to happen because I want my team to succeed, and the only way my team succeeds nowadays is if you cover it and pump it up with money. So yeah, look, I'm going to catch you tomorrow with some transfer news to see if the Icone Belotti swap deal with Fiorentina grows and makes his way into being real, as reported by Gianluca Di Marzio. Have a good evening. Super Cup is about to end, so I'm going to go watch the end of that. Enjoy that one. Let me know your opinions and thoughts down below in the comments. This is an interesting topic, so yeah, feel free to comment thoughts, opinions down below. And talk to you soon. Subscribe. Please do hit the like. It supports the video and channel a lot. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you soon. See you,